Hey, this duty be gone, and I'm back, but I'm still gone. Welcome to another adventure with me. Today we're diving into an important topic, staying safe in Colombia. So let's buckle up and let's get started on these tips. But of course, before we jump into the tips, remember to subscribe, like this video, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Now let's get talking about the safety, of course. First thing first, family, research. Know the area you're planning to visit, understand the local customs, the do's and the don'ts. And here's a game changer. Learn some Spanish. It's not just about ordering food, it's about connecting with the locals and navigating situations. Trust me, it'll make your trip a lot smoother. You would be surprised how people were impressed, even with my horrible Spanish, that I was able to speak some Spanish. I'm assuming because there's a lot of people that come that do not speak any Spanish. I ran into a lot of them as well, and I just kind of just shrugged my shoulders, hoping that they would be okay once we separated. All right, guys. Tip number 2. And remember, we're not here to victim blame, but to educate. Let's dive into tip number 2, of course. Stay aware of your surroundings. Picture this. You're walking down the streets of Cartagena or Medellin, soaking in the vibes. Tip number 2 is to stay aware of your surroundings. Keep an eye on your belongings, know the emergency exits, and avoid poorly lit and isolated areas, especially at night. It's all about staying sharp and having that sixth sense activated. Of course, again, with the research and knowing where you are, being safe, being aware, of course, researching those areas. There's places that you just should not go in Colombia. I mean, that's just simple and plain. Okay? All right. Now on to tip number 3. That'll keep you safe and sound, of course. Use reliable transportation. Transportation is key. Whether you're hopping on a bus, taxi, or a ride-sharing service, make sure it's legit. Stick to reputable companies, and if something feels off, trust your instincts. Your safety is worth the extra few minutes if it takes to make that right choice. Of course, they have Uber, DD Driver, Driver, and there's another one, I think it's called Taxify. Those are some great apps to use. If you speak Spanish, yes, the taxis are okay, but still they have scammers and taxis, and you can get robbed by a taxi driver. It is just that dangerous. So in my opinion, using one of the apps, ride sharing programs, is probably better. Using the public transportation, bus and train. Of course, in Medellin they have the train, so I would use those over a taxi or a motor taxi on the street, of course. So just be safe with that as well. Alright, so we're crushing it through these tips. Now let's talk about tip number 4. Keep your valuables secure. Listen up, keep those valuables close. Use a money belt if you have one, or purchase one. Secure your passport in a safe place. I mean, if you're staying in a hotel, I would not ask for cleaning service, because you're running the risk of random people coming into your room, being able to go through your belongings while you're not in that hotel. Me, I prefer Airbnb because of my job. I need to make sure that I have to have the internet. So that is one thing that I always make sure that the internet service is great. But again, with those Airbnb places, you don't have to worry about cleaning service or some random person coming into your apartment. There's other things that you do have to worry about and be concerned about Airbnbs. I'll get into that another time, but definitely just keep your valuables safe. And of course, be mindful of flashy jewelry or expensive gadgets. Here's the best tip. Don't wear it. I wouldn't wear any earrings, any necklaces, any bracelets, even an Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch, and there was times where I noticed people were looking at me and looking and focusing right at my Apple Watch. So it was times where I knew I should not wear my Apple Watch, whether it be at night or the area that I know I'm going into at that moment. I know not to wear certain things. So that is just it. There's always a thing that we talk about, or expression that we use in America. When in Rome, do what the Romans do. So if you know that expression, you know that you should dress like the locals dress, eat what the locals are eating, drink what the locals are drinking, walk how the locals are walking. Try to blend in with the locals as much as you can, and don't try to attract too much attention. Just keep it simple, of course. And I mean, that's just something a lot of Americans, of course, I'm picking on Americans because I am. You guys come and you are very loud and you bring a lot of attention to yourself, and it is obvious already because of the way you dress, walk, talk, and carry yourself that you are a tourist. And it doesn't matter where you're traveling in the world. If you are a tourist, you are a target of the criminals of that specific country or place that you're traveling to. It is just that simple. So just keep all your valuables and belongings in secure locations close to you, and you are aware of everything that you have and around you. All right. And finally, the fifth tip that seals the deal on a safety trip: emergency preparedness. I know you're like, wait a minute, what? Emergency preparedness? Yes, prepare for the unexpected. Have a copy of important documents, know the local emergency numbers, and have a plan in case things go sideways. It's not about being paranoid, it's about being ready. You never know when it might come in handy. And there's this simple, plain advice, of course. You know, you go into an area, you're not familiar with it. Always look for those exits, knowing exactly where you can and cannot go. If you know an app is crashing, not just one app, like I said, Uber is there, use Didi. I have 2 or 3 different apps that, okay, if this ride share program is taking too long, I'm going to use this one instead. If I'm going into the mall, of course, I'm going to make sure I know where the exits are just in case. Anything can happen, of course. And of course, there you have it, folks. 5 tips to keep you safe and sound in Colombia. If you found these helpful, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments. This is Duty Gone signing off. I'm back, but I'm still gone. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring. But one more thing, before I wrap completely up, there's a bonus tip I need to share with you all, and it's something that's been on my mind for a while, especially lately because of all the different videos and of course of YouTubers and travelers and just tourists in general going to Colombia. They're losing their lives, they're being robbed. It's just crazy. So I have to talk about the influence of YouTubers. Fam, we live in a world where social media influencers can have a significant impact on our decisions. Now, I'm not here just to throw shade, but it's crucial to be aware. Some YouTubers might glamorize risky adventures, taking you into potentially dangerous areas for the sake of views. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all about exploring and having a good time, but safety should always come first. It's disheartening to see fellow content creators putting themselves in harm's way just for the clickbait thumbnail or that crazy story. And here's the kicker: if something goes wrong, it's just not a video for them. It's a real life situation. But hey, views and subscribers may pour in, and sometimes their followers even send them money to help them out. It's a bizarre cycle that doesn't align with staying safe. So here's my advice: be cautious of who you follow. If a YouTuber is constantly taking risks without proper considerations for safety, think twice before mimicking their adventures. Your safety is worth more than a few extra likes. That's it today for today's video. Remember, when it comes to travel, let's be smart, informed, and above all, safe. If you appreciated these tips and the bonus insight, show some love by subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. This is Duty Be Gone signing off. I'm back, but I'm still gone. Stay safe out there, and until next time, peace.